Hello there, this is Nate. Today we're going to be talking about Dead Slate and some new stuff that came to this game. So anyway, the gun modeler, he's been a bit on and off, so they kind of switched to a bunch of free models for everything. So anyway, some of these look really good, like the Thompson looks pretty nice. Sten looks alright. But then like this one, I don't like that one very much. Anyway, basically they don't really have a gun modeler that they can rely on. So I'll leave a link to their Discord in the description, and if you're a gun modeler or know anyone who's a gun modeler, if you have any like models lying around that I think would fit the game, feel free to let admin of the game know or something like that. Again, I don't really know if they are necessarily looking for them, but you know, I think it could help. So anyway, that being said, they got rid of a few guns like the dual pistols, but they replaced that with the dual revolvers, and they got rid of the Trooper, which is my favorite gun. It was a bullpup burst rifle thing, a bit like an AUG, but burst fire. And they replaced it with the Sten or they didn't really replace it, but they added the Sten and the Thompson, which is now my favorite gun because it has a drum mag and it has a fast reload. They changed a bit of how the game works too. Like there used to be a sort of aimbot type thing, so that if you shot near a zombie, it would correct the shot and just shoot the zombie, which is really good for taking out hordes, because there would be a bunch of zombies grouped together and then you just shoot and then it would always hit the zombies. But now the hordes are kind of spaced out a bit more. So like, let's see if I can find one. Usually, yeah, these ones are kind of grouped up together, but they don't like to be grouped together, you know? They try to space each other apart like that. So there won't be like 20 zombies in the same like block now. They also made it so that if you're stunned or like strangled, like with this guy with the tongue, then zombies can only deal half damage to you, which is pretty fair because they can do a lot of damage really fast, and if you're unconscious, you can't really, or if you're knocked down, you can't really do too much about that. So I think that's a pretty fair and good thing. It's not really too realistic, but it doesn't need to be. It's balanced and stuff. They changed the minigun. So the minigun, it had infinite ammo, and then you could just hold down the trigger, and it did really low damage. But it was still good because it had infinite ammo, and you could just mow down hordes and stuff like that. You couldn't do a lot of single tower damage, or single target damage very easily, but still a pretty decent gun because you could just hold down the trigger, but it did slow you down. You had to bring like a high damage secondary like the starter pistol, or even like the mini Uzi. Oh, another thing they said was that the guns that the free models that they added would be a lot easier to make skins for, since they're a lot more simple models than the old ones. So we are probably going to get skins in this game. Which, you know, that's pretty neat.